Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Developing the Leader Within podcast. I'm Enrique, your host, and today I got Trevor Houston, all the way from the big Texas, representing the job and networking community. I'm so happy to have him. Thank you for being with me. Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me. I'm part of the Who You Know Job Networking Show, where we really like to connect people, places, and things, right? We like to get people connected with the right resources to open opportunities that may have never really been there if it wasn't for the network. So that's what the show's all about. You know, we bring on recruiters and hiring managers, career coaches, and I really went out there and built my network to support this other network of job seekers that I'm messing around with and just hanging out with and doing life with. And so it's been an awesome journey. It's been really, really fun. And it's really cool when we're able to connect dots and open doors and get people back to their cash flow. That's ultimately what it's all about. Get you back to your cash flow, because these people are out of work. They're hurting. They feel hopeless. They're losing their homes. I got a guy right now who he's getting evicted. And I'm like, oh, and he's like he's talking crazy talk, man. You know, that kind of stuff starts happening. You start feeling like your life is not worth anything. We've lost people to the job search, and we can't have that, man. So that's what my mission is to help get people back to their cash flow, and we have fun doing it.
And fun indeed, man. I watch your show. I watch you on LinkedIn. I watch your, the all the episodes and videos that you put out. First, I have to tell you, I appreciate you including faith into your programming, because it's something that we seldom see. I'm one to subscribe that it's me. You either get it or you don't, right? So and so I really appreciate you guys doing that and taking care of that aspect of job seeking, because guess what? There's a lot of people praying for a job, right? So you have this big network. I love how you include all these different facets of it. It's kind of like what I do with the leadership channel.
Mm.
Let's get right into uh, job networking and leadership, because it's gonna segue and gonna dove here pretty nicely as the show progresses. But what does a person need to do to get into the right mindset? Because job searching and job networking is not an easy task.
Oh man, amen to that. So I'm gonna I love where you're going with this, because mindset, right? I'm gonna go back to what you were talking about earlier about adding in my faith into the show. It's crucial that these job seekers go back and figure out the source of it all, right? Listen, you know, there's a scripture where he talks about look at the birds in the air. They don't sow nor reap, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them anyways. Are you not more valuable than they? Are you not more valuable than a bird? Like, your heavenly Father is going to feed you. Right. And so for these job seekers, their mindset is coming from a scarcity mindset. Their mindset is like, I'm losing everything. Like I said, I got a guy who's being evicted right now. And, you start to go to like, man, hopelessness, right? Especially if you were like on top of the world and then you just lose it all. Like, this is where people end up jumping off of bridges and things and doing crazy stuff, man. You start feeling hopeless. You need to go center yourself in the light and get some hope. You need to go back to your faith, go back to the source of it all, the provider, the one who gives it. He's going to feed you, right? And like, he's going to feed the birds. He's going to feed you too. He's going to get you through. And you have to go back and remember and get your mindset there that your employer wasn't the one providing that whole time. It wasn't the company you were working for. They weren't the one providing. That came from God. Those resources came from God. So anyways, that for me, that's really important. I think they need to go back to get their mindset back to where this all stems from, where it comes from, the belief and the faith. And that takes, when you have faith, it starts to remove fear. because right now these job seekers are under attack by the enemy. The enemy wants to lie, kill, and destroy, wants to tell them they're not good enough. They're not going to make it through. They're going to lose everything, wants to just get in their ear and just try to destroy these job seekers, man. That's what the enemy's doing. And you got to fight back. And the only way to fight back is, to go to the maker, the one who created it all. So I love that question and the way you framed it of getting your mindset, because they need to go to church, man. I'm just saying, I don't care what you believe in, but you need to go to church.
Well, I love it, man, because I subscribe to it. I'm a minister myself, so that's a definite for me.
Yeah.
And without a doubt, in my life searches as far as employment, that's where it all starts. So if you're of that mind, of folks that are listening, if you're of that mindset, that's great, man. You got a head on. If you don't, hey, reach out to me and Trevor. We'll get you there.
And here's the deal: is God's trying to tell you something in this season of your life. He's trying to show you something, and you're going to become a different person at the end of that journey. You're going to be different. I promise you. I see it all day long. Plus, he's giving you the time to deal with something. There's something that he wants to shine some light on so that you can deal with it. A lot of times we see job seekers get let go, and at the exact same time, someone in their family dies, or they have to go take care of someone in their family, or something's going on, but God gave them space, gave them time, where if they were working in their corporate environment, they would have never been able to take care of their mom and dad or been able to do whatever they needed to do. And I see that all the time. And I'm like, that was a God thing. God gave you that space. You needed it. Right. And so there's something that you need to just be asking the right questions. God, Lord, tell me what you're trying to show me. Where do you want me to go? Like, let your will be done, not mine. Right. What do you want to show me? Where do I need to go? What do I need to do? And you need to be asking the right questions. And so I'm a big believer in that. And he'll show you. He'll show you.
That's for sure. And I'm big on foundational truth. That's one of them for me. That's the floor, right? That's where my foundation is built on. Anything else after that, I can look forward to, because I know that's there. Regardless of what happens as we scale this thing, even if it all crumbles, I'm going to have a sure foundation. So great thing to highlight and start off with. Let's say there's people that are listening have that foundation. That's a plus. If they don't have that foundation, like I said, they can come ask us. We'll direct them. But whether you do or you don't, you still have to do a thing to get into a thing, right? And we're talking about job networking here. So
faith without works is dead.
That's
faith
right.
Without works is dead. You can believe all you want, but you got to go work it out. You got to go, 100%. I agree with that. I subscribe to that one.
So now we have that faith background. If you don't, we'll get it. And you're pursuing this job networking. There are differences in personalities, right? You and I can go into a room and we can work it, right? We have that personality that we can talk to people. We can get in conversations. We can get asked questions, and boom, we're throwing them out. There are some people that can't, right?
Right.
And they're shaking in the boots just being in the room. So you have that, and then you have to network. So how can a person begin the networking thing if their internal is fighting against them?
Right. Like they're an introvert and they're freaking out and they're just like a fish out of water. And it's like, okay. So understand, if we just go to the basics of this whole thing, like I think before the show, you had mentioned every job that you've ever got was like through networking. Talk to anybody. They're going to tell you that networking is your lifeblood when you are searching for a job. It's all about who you know. And so if you know that, if you just know the basics and you go, okay, this is how I got to get a job. I have to network. Okay. I've got to do what it takes. I got to get uncomfortable. I got to push myself out of the comfort zone, and I just got to do what it takes. And my question to the job seekers is this: sometimes it's tough love. I got to ask them the hard questions. Listen, Is any part of your job search comfortable right now? Are you comfortable? Okay. It's uncomfortable. So jump in. Let's go. Let's get uncomfortable. Like quit being scared and let's go. You know, it's not comfortable anyways. Okay, let me ask you this. What's the alternative? You don't go talk to that guy or that gal. You don't get the job. You don't get the income. You lose your house. Everything that you're worried about and stressing about becomes real. That's the alternative. Get up, go talk to that person. Figure out how you can build value in their life, because that's what networking is. Okay. That's the second thing. It's understanding what is networking. That's the problem. I feel like a lot of people, you hear networking, they don't know what to do. What is that? What does that mean? Networking is figuring out how you can build value in someone else's life, how you can give to them with no strings attached. Okay. And once you're doing that and you're building commonality and you're building that relationship and you're building that foundation and you're giving yourself and you're building value in them, okay, you're going to find opportunities that just kind of start to come up and you're like, wow, actually, you know what? They actually might have what I need. But it's going to come through those conversations of selflessness, of how you are trying to help them. And then all of a sudden it's going to be whoa, okay, wait a minute. They actually have the key to the door that I need to get through. Okay, wow. Now all I got to do is ask, hey, would you mind opening that door for me? Right? But if I didn't give myself, if I didn't give selflessly, a couple of things. I never would have known they had the key in the first place. I never would have figured that out. Right? And why would they give me the key? Why would they give me the key and open the door? They're not going to, if I'm not giving myself to them, if I'm not pouring out and figuring out how I can, you know, that's what it is. That's what networking is. You got to add value first.
I love it because, you know, a case in point is this very podcast, right? I had to ask, right? But you had to go and say, okay, is this guy the type of guy I want to be networked with? Is this the kind of person I want to be in collaboration with? But that took several. We planned this a year ago, right? so I mean, it's been a while. It's not a little minute. But I love that you brought us back to the definition of where networking is, because first you got to understand what it is. I had a master chief while I was in the Navy tell me, hey, Enrique, I see this paper that you jotted down, all the things that you do. That's nice. But who cares if nobody knows?
Mm.
Nobody knows. And so I
true.
subscribed to the humility part, but I took it a little too far, I guess. And I was hiding everything I was doing. I was doing it. Hey, my left didn't know what my right was doing, but guess what? Nobody else did neither. So in your execution, you have to understand that people must know what you're doing. They must be able to talk to you. You must be able to ask a question.
Amen. I'm going to paint a picture for you. I can see this guy right now. I can see him. I can visualize this guy. So exactly to what you're saying. There was a guy who was volunteering. Okay. Volunteering at the church at a job networking group. Okay. He's giving his time. He's adding value, right? Volunteering, and, you know, he's the door greeter, right? And giving out name tags to the other job seekers. So he's seeking employment himself, giving out the name tags, welcoming, greeting. He showed up early. He pushed around the drink cart and the coffee and stacked up the chairs. And this guy's giving and adding value. And that's exactly what you should be doing. But what he didn't do and where he messed up, I remember it wasn't till like 8 months that I finally figured out that he was a job seeker himself. I thought he worked with the church. And it blew my mind. I said, whoa. Hold on. 8 minutes later, or 8 months later, I was like, whoa, you're searching? Oh my gosh. I like, dude, I got to help you, man. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? No way. I was like, you should have been when you were at the door, shaking hands and greeting people. You should have been giving out your resume, your business card. You're saying, hey, nice to meet you. Here's my card. I'm also seeking too, by the way. Great to meet you. Like everybody should have known that this guy was searching for a job, right? So it's not enough to just give. You also have to, like, to your point, the visibility and the ask and putting yourself out there so that people are aware. Without awareness, there is no action. There's no decision.
Yeah, and that's amazing. As you were talking this whole scenario, the first thing I said, man, what a position to be in.
Right.
You're the you're the greeter.
Yeah.
You're the one that can actually make first contact before anybody.
Correct.
The conversation is already there because you're greeting. So,
Yep.
I mean, if you was a, let's say, a real hard not introvert that's saying, I can't talk to people, that was the best spot to be in because you have to talk to somebody.
That was absolutely perfect. And that's a recommendation I give to people all the time is, when you're going to these networking meetings, figure out who the key players are, right? The people that are running the events, the people that are running, the different groups and things, and go ask them if they need any help, support, volunteering, setting up, tearing down, anything like that. Ask them. Go give, go volunteer. Because especially if you're an introvert, like you said, it's the best position to be in, because if you get in good with that decision maker or the person running the group, he's going to introduce you to everybody. He's going to do the work for you. Right. And so, but guess what you did? You gave first. That's networking. Give, figure out how to add value in someone else's life, and they'll do anything they can for you. Right. That's networking.
I love it because, it reminds me of a scripture that says, give and it shall be given unto you. It
Amen.
doesn't say it shall be given unto you and then you shall give. So,
right.
Follow the script, and everything will work out. You mentioned earlier, and we was having a conversation. I said, hey, yeah, since I've been post-military, all of my work has been network-based acquisition. Let me just say it like that. It was who I knew, and oh, by the way, who knew me, right? Because I stopped that. I stopped hiding stuff. I after that talk with that math chief, I just let everybody know. So, they already knew me. Who they knew kind of came into play, and all that mixed up together. And voila, here I am at a job, and so on and so forth. So, we go back to the name of your show, who you know, and you have a conference coming up here soon. And right. So,
yep.
So we'll talk about that here in a little bit, but
yes.
In terms of who you know, is that just people knowing? I mean, it's I know everything is people, right? People move the whole thing, but you also have to know what the company stands for. You have to know what they're pushing out. Because you also don't want to just for the sake of networking, just network with everybody and find yourself in a position, right? So how thoughtful should this networking be, and what should be the thought process behind your network acquisition?
Yeah, that's a great question. What I usually train my job seekers to do is to get real clear on what they want, right? Out of the culture, the fit, what are they actually looking to accomplish? And once you get that, put down, you need to start doing some research and get you a nice, good target company list, right? Figure out what companies really align with that. Start doing some research on those companies. And then what you got to do is you got to start following these companies on LinkedIn, start connecting with the people who work for those companies, and start talking to those people. It's really basic when you think about it. Right? It's like, first of all, you got to find what you want, right? That's, and I get job seekers all the time. They're like, I don't know what I want, right? Like, that's the first step. We got to get clear on what you want. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? Right? Then we got to find out who's there And we got to start establishing some communication with those people. So you start following the companies, you start following the recruiters, you start following the hiring managers, and guess what? Just regular old people that work for that company. It doesn't have to be decision makers. Start having regular conversations. If you want to go work at Coca-Cola, start having regular conversations with everybody that works at Coca-Cola. Okay. It's really basic. Well, how do I do that? Well, it's pretty simple. Go to their LinkedIn page and you'll find them. They got an employee section. You'll be able to find them all right there. And you can go start, you got to do a little research. You got to go build some connection. You got to go add some value on their social and start getting those conversations going. And what'll happen is it's a journey. Okay. One dot will connect you to another dot, which will connect you to another dot, which connects you to another. Oh, but this door closes. Oh man. Now what do I do? Repeat the cycle, go get another connection, get this one. Oh, but hey, I talked with Susie already. And it just the more conversations, the more people are saying your name around that company. I promise you, some doors will start to open, some doors will start to close, and that's okay too. The door closes, that's great. That's one step closer to where you're supposed to be.
I believe that. I tell you that you're mentioning all the dots, and I did career counseling for over 15 years in the Navy. So part of that is networking. A lot of it is just standard because, when you get orders, you just go. It's not like you, but there is an affiliation type of process, meaning I get to list down commands I want to be at. But if, and so you got to do some research there, just like you got to do it out here. So research those companies before you start just throwing stuff out. But more importantly, to your point, when you talk about people connection takes strategy. It does. First of all, you don't want to just get connected I don't want to be connected to people that ain't going to make me better. That's just it. Now, I won't mind them connecting to me because my intent is to make them better at whatever it is that they're doing, right? Even if it's just being a human being. I want them, if I have something, they can learn. But that connection piece to human, I had advice. It's kind of like an advice, real quick. We have here in Orlando the Orlando Business Journal, right? So, okay. Orlando Business Journal highlights their people's employees. Well, guess what? What a great opportunity to send a letter or a postcard or a handwritten note to the company addressed to the person and say, congratulations, or even take a picture of it and throw it on LinkedIn and send it to them.
Yeah, it's easy.
Straight shot, right? So
easy.
That whole people connection is very frightful for a lot of folks, right? How can I start using tools like that, like a simple picture? How can I start using LinkedIn to help me get into those doors, those open doors?
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to say I love what you were talking about with the journal and stuff like that, because that was an outside the box thought that you had, right? Which is highlighting one of those people that work at that company. You're basically highlighting them, right? So there's lots of different things that you can do. Think outside the box. It doesn't have to be done any kind of certain way, but I've been teaching a few strategies that I know work. They're very, very effective. One of those is what we call the Trojan horse strategy. Okay. And it incorporates video technology. Now, this video, it's personalized video. Okay. This is different from what you think about with a video. When you think about a video, you think about edits and you think about captions and pop-ups and music and, social media video. No. This is raw. Okay. There is zero edits, no captions, no music, no pop-up, none of that. Okay. And you keep it really short. It's like a voicemail. If you can imagine, if I just left you a voicemail, but I did it on a video. Okay. And then on top of that, I put your name on it. Okay. I put it right there. Boom. And I flash your name. Boom. and there's a GIF to the video. So you're literally going to see your own name flashing at you like this. And it's just going to grab your attention. Curiosity killed the cat. And I promise you, you're going to press play. And when you press play, now you've got that eyeball to eyeball, face to face human connection. You're in their office, right? You're sitting there in their office. They're looking at you. You're looking at them, right? And they're able to get to know the human behind the black and white text, the human behind the resume, okay? Which is why they interview you in the first place. Why don't they just hire people based off their resume? Well, that would be a catastrophe, okay? Imagine if they just hired people right off the spot because they had all the skill set on their resume. And then when they got them in, they're like, oh my gosh, this person's a train wreck. Ugh. Right? Like, they're not going to do that. They're going to interview people. They got to get to know the human being behind those words. So you're more valuable than the words on your resume. Okay. You need to show them the value in you, the value in the person. Do it through video. Okay. And so we teach this strategy, and you can actually you can do comments with this. You can send video comments. So go look up their LinkedIn profile. Go look at their content, send them a video comment. They will never get one of these, okay? You'll stand so far out, and they're going to press play, and they're just going to feel so connected and be like, wow. You're literally going to make them say, wow. They're going to say, wow, out loud. You'll probably get a response that says, wow. I see those all the time. People send me screenshots of their emails and their DM. Literally, I see that word wow with exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. And I'm like, go wow the employer, right? And it works. It's just so effective.
No, hey, I'm over here laughing on my end. Now you get to see me. But let me tell you, because it is true. I have a habit of when LinkedIn tells me so-and-so is celebrating a birthday, I send them an actual personal video, no more than 15 seconds. It ain't gonna be more than that. But hey, happy birthday. Yeah. And those words is exactly what I get. And so I was laughing over here because it's true.
It is so true. I didn't know you did that. And guess what? I do that too. But you're on top of it, because I'm gonna tell you, like, if you're doing like individualized, like you're literally personalizing it. The one I have is I made an evergreen video. This is another strategy, just depending on your, how you want to do it. You're doing it individualized, which is actually more powerful. It just takes a lot more time and effort. So I take my hat off and salute you, sir. I do evergreen video, and I send one out for the happy birthday as well. But I don't put their name on it, obviously, because that I can't, right? It's one video that I send out over and over and over and over and over. But the way it's shot and the way it's done, they don't realize it on the other end that it wasn't just for them. I've been using the same video for years. So, but it does still work. It still works really effectively.
Well, I mean, people want to know that someone, but think about it. Even if it was evergreen, the time you took to package that thing,
yeah,
it's personal, right? You want the same effect, but you took that time to be personal. And so, folks out there, that if you're listening to all this networking thing, it really it has to be personal. You have to be invested in your own job search, in your own networking. You have to be, because if you're waiting for stuff to come to you, you're gonna be waiting for a while.
Yeah, that's faith without works. That's exactly what we were talking about earlier. That's like, you have faith, you have belief, you know it's going to come, but you're just waiting for it to come. That's like, dear Lord, once I get that $1 million, I'll change. No. That's not the way it works. Like, it's not just going to fall in your lap. And praying and having faith, that's great, and I want you to do that. That makes you stronger. But you got to go put in the work. You got to get out there, and God will bless that work that you're putting in. That's how it works, right? You have faith, you work, he blesses your work and sends you the result. That's how it works.
Trevor, we talked about things that work, things that people should be doing. What are some things that you see that every time you see it, it's like, oh my goodness, not again. Oh, not this. That are holding people back from actually building that network.
Okay. Well, there's a few things. Number one, I can think of a guy just right now. So he sent me a message, sent me a DM. And he's like, hey, I'm just running through this problem, that problem, this problem, that problem, this problem, that problem. I'm like, okay. And I said, hey, have you been through our summit yet? I can't remember. I'm like, you're going to have to excuse me. I can't remember if you've been through. And he says, yeah, I've been through it twice. But I can't do this, and I can't do this, and I can't do that. And I said, okay, I'm hearing you. I said, so this is all coming out of love. I'm not trying to, be rude or anything. Trust me when I tell you, but I got to push you a little bit. I got to lean on you, because for what I'm hearing is you came through our summit twice, learned a bunch of great stuff, but you didn't put any action to it. You didn't do anything. What a waste of time. You wasted not only your time, you wasted my time. Said, and I'm not here to waste anybody's time. Time is the one thing that we don't get back, right? There's only so much of it, and we can't get it back. So I said, man, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and expecting a different result. So what do you got to lose? Like, go apply and take action on the stuff we taught you and see what happens. He was trying to tell me how it wasn't going to work and blah, blah, blah. I said, you haven't tried. What do you mean how it's not going to work? You haven't tried the stuff I'm telling you. The reason you're not going to go out there and do this video and all this kind of stuff is because you're scared, right? Or it's uncomfortable, or whatever other excuse or the enemy lie the enemy's trying to tell you. That's a bunch of BS. I'm sorry. Get up. Let's go. Take action. Like, I get tired of that, where people's, oh, woe is me, and victim mentality, but they don't want to do the work. And then they want to come cry to me, and they're talking about like, hey, it's not working. You didn't do anything. What do you mean it's not working? So that's number one. I could go off. You got me started here now. You got me started.
That's the thing, though. There's some people where they would tend to wait on whatever mechanism is going to, the big red easy button, right? There's no big red easy button to life in general. What makes you think there is one to networking or getting a job? There is none. The sweat of the brow is what gets you into that door. And look, you can have the most, and you see it most of the time, you can have the most flawless resume ever.
Yeah, I don't mean
that's
nothing.
not going to get you a job, right?
No, it's not.
It's not. It's going to get you an opportunity to speak to somebody, right? Maybe.
If the ATS doesn't kick it out.
Right. So let's say it's ATS proof.
Okay.
It's just
which ATS?
There you go.
Which ATS? There's too many ATSs. That everybody's trying to crack the code. You're not gonna crack the code. There's too many ATS systems out there. You don't know which one they're running with. You're gonna try to formulate. You're playing Scrabble with words, trying to reformulate and no. Look, the resume. I'm sorry. I just gotta say that's what frustrates me with this whole process. It's just semantics. You got to get you got to get that piece of paper in the system. Otherwise, they're not even going to talk to you. Like, do you know how many times, you reach out and let's say you reach out to the recruiter. What's the first thing they're going to tell you? Have you applied? They're going to ask you, have you applied? Right? Why? Because they have their own set of compliance and regulatory issues. A lot of them, they cannot speak to you or help you unless you've gone through their process. It's just semantics. Once you've gotten it into the black hole, okay, then they can talk to you and then they can pull it out and look at it and go, oh, okay, cool, right? But it's just the first step. But just because you have it's a great resume, it doesn't mean it's perfect or it's even going to get through. You don't know what ATS system you got. You're trying to crack the code. Stop with the resume stuff. Let's get to the people who can make decisions, because the computer can't make a decision. Well, actually, I take that back. The computer can go, bah. It can do this, but it can't do this. And a human can take this. It can take this. A lot of times you get that canned email that says, sorry. A human can turn that into this, right? The computer can't. The robots can't. So anyway, let's get back to the basics. Let's get to people.
Outstanding, man. I'm chuckling a little bit because it's so true. You know, there is a desire to crack codes that are unbreakable. But if you go back to the people business, right? H to H, people business.
Love it.
Be surprised on how many frowns turn upside down, make you happy, right? So, Trevor, man, we could talk about this all day long. It's what you do, it's how you do it. But you mentioned earlier, right? Your summit. Tell us a little bit about that, because it's coming up.
Yes.
I want people to know. And then, how can they contact you?
I love that question. Thank you so much for asking that, because I've got this thing I created called the Who You Know Career Transition Summit, and we have been running this thing for years, and it's evolved and morphed and developed and changed. And, it was pretty cool when we first started. It was just out of a little conference room, teaching some folks. And then we upgraded to the Cowboys Club, which was really cool, man. I tell you what, I had fun doing that. We got to teach them, take them to the Dallas Cowboys world headquarters. So you got people, these job seekers who are feeling depressed and hopeless and worthless. And then I take them and show them Jerry Jones, Jerry's world. And they're like, wow, this is nice. And they're going around. And then we would teach them, and I'd pump them up full of energy and get them all hyped up and like, you can do this. You got this. Let's go. And then we'd take them upstairs to the Cowboys Club, where a lot of times you would see Jerry and you'd see some of the players and all that kind of stuff. And we'd do a happy hour for them, and we'd celebrate and we'd cheers with a drink. And we'd say, hey, you got this. Congrats in advance, right? Because it's only a matter of time. And so I love doing that. And then COVID, right? COVID kind of shut all that down, right? We did that for years. Then we took it online, right? We took it all online, of course, which actually, blessing in disguise, we were able to serve more people, right? Because everybody got furloughed and let go and fired from COVID. So there was a bigger need. And now we're online. We're able to reach all over the country. And it 10x'd everything, the reach. And so it was an amazing thing to be able to serve people in their time of need. And that's where we're currently doing it online as we speak. But to your point, I am in process of creating a summit in person, because there is still that need for the human to human, face to face, hand to hand, handshake, hugs, power of just speaking life into people. Like, there's still a need for all of that. And so I'm putting it together right now, and tentatively October 13th will be our first in-person summit, in case in case anything comes up in between, but it's tentatively October 13th. And I've got some serious off the hook plans for this summit. Okay. It's going to be amazing. Like, these job seekers, you're going to be blown away, because what I'm about to do has never been done. I'm trying to make this thing fun. I'm trying to lift you up. It's not just learning how to do your resume and your LinkedIn. Okay, that's important. Sure. But what about right here? Right? What about what's right up here? Because the knowledge of knowing how to do something is not enough. Right? We all know how to lose weight. Right? You diet and exercise, but how come it's so hard for a lot of us, right? How come that's so hard? Because you actually have to do it, and that's the hard part. And so for me, I got to get your mindset right, so that you'll actually go apply, take action, get the results. You got to get the mindset right. And it is going to incorporate some of that faith, and we're going to have some worship music, and I'm going to light these job seekers up. It's going to be unlike anything you've seen. It doesn't exist for job seekers, and it needs to, and I'm putting it together right now. So October 13th, I'm real excited about it. And yeah, man, thanks for asking, because you can tell I'm pumped about it.
Absolutely. Hey, October 13th is a great day all around. It happens to be the Navy's birthday. And it
Oh,
also happens to be my youngest son's birthday all at
hey.
once. So three things, three glorious things happening all at once. Trevor, if they wanted to get a hold of you specifically, how would they do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So come connect with my LinkedIn. That's my jam, right? Like, you can connect on my Facebook and all that other stuff, and I'm not really going to be there that much, right? So if you want me, you need to come connect with my LinkedIn. My website is whoyouknow.show. Okay. And it's who ya, not who you know. It's who ya, because we're in Texas. So who ya, Y-A, who you know .show. Connect with me there. And yeah, if there's anybody searching, or anybody that wants to partner up and help me put this thing together, let's go. Right? We're looking for sponsors. We're looking for partners. We're looking for people that can speak life. Right? That's what we need. And I've got a lot of that already, but hey, never hurts to have more resources and partners. So if you want to connect with me on that, definitely would be open to conversations as well.
Yes, indeed. Hey, folks, if you're looking for a job, you're looking for a new career transition, and things are looking bleak, reach out to Trevor. He has the network, over almost 31,000 network connections on LinkedIn. So he knows some people that you may not know. Trevor, thank you so much for your time today and sharing this platform. So happy to have all waited this long and got this done. But job seekers, the need is still there. Reach out to Trevor. And as we love to say, close out this show, success to you.